Hi YouTube, welcome to my channel. It's me, Stella Minaj. Today we're doing a high school versus now makeup look. So, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment down below telling me how you like it or if you hate it. Yes, I am aware that my makeup is not blended properly and it looks like shit. But the lash saved it. So, enjoy. I have my base already pre-done. The foundation I'm using is the Fenty by Rihanna Pro Filter and also the same concealer. My shades are 390 and 380, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I will put them down in the description box below. So today's video is going to be a bit different. I'm going to be doing my left side of my face and then the right side of my face. So the left side, which we're starting off with, is going to be how I did my makeup back in high school. When I was in high school, it was the early 2000s. So without further ado, let's get into it. So today's palette that I'm using for my left side, I'm actually using two palettes. I'll be using my Conspiracy palette, which I just bought a month ago. I have the video of the unboxing, which I haven't finished editing yet. I know I'm behind. I've got so many videos I'm doing right now, but this will be on my channel soon. I have to film the ending credits, so yeah. And then I'll also be using my Beauty Killer palette, which I got as a gift from a friend. Unfortunately, there was an accident with the palette when she was delivering it to me. The mirror got broken, as you can see. So what can you do? It was a birthday gift. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into the primer. I'm going to be using my Lion Low by MAC Cosmetics. I'm just gonna get this and I'm gonna prime my left eye, in only the left eye for now. I'm gonna hold my mirror like this so I can see, and hopefully it's not blocking your way. I am using the Jeffree Star Bloodlust mirror. It's the only one I have. I love Jeffree Star Cosmetics, don't get me wrong. So let's go ahead and start priming this eye. Na, 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 na. I'm just gonna start by applying the primer in my normal shape. I like to carve out my shape with my primer when I'm doing my eyes, just so I have my guideline of the shape. So back in back in the early 2000s, like 2001, I didn't do a lot of blending. So this is gonna be an improvement on that because I'm going to blend it a lot better. Also, back then, I was into the more grungy, gothic looks. So, emo phase, I guess you could say. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one of my classic looks from back then. It was basically a lot of gold highlight, gold shadows with heavy black. So today we're gonna be basically following the same pattern basically. I'm just gonna add a bit more primer. But we're just gonna make it more modern. So, yes. I'm apologizing now because I know this is gonna be cringy AF. And normally I would have my nails done, but I just took off a set and I'm in the middle of letting my phalanges breathe. Because honey, I wear in my like acrylics or gel nails for a really long time. I just had a set of the 123 Goes on with polygel inside because I wanted a certain color I didn't have in regular polish. So I had to go, in gel polish, I had to go that route. So yes, okay, so I'm gonna be going in with the Jeffree Star Beauty Killer palette, and I'm be going into the shade Rich Bitch right here. And she's gonna be my lid color. So I'm just gonna take a packing brush. I need to get me some Morphe brushes. or some MAC brushes. Some really good brushes I need to invest. And I'm going to just apply this on my lid, and then I will go in with my other palette and see what color I want to use to smoke it, like to deepen it out. So I could have used the gold from the Bloodlust palette, but it's too soft and it's too metallic. And it's not the right shade. This shade is the perfect shade of gold because it matches the shade I used to wear. And I used to wear a lot of drugstore makeup back then. Like, I don't even know what was wrong with me. I do. I couldn't afford anything good. So, yeah, I'm just patting this to my lid. So we're just gonna press it in there. Just pat it. I will go in with my blending brush and blend it out before I apply the black. So, yes. Don't come for me because my brushes are cheap, because they were a Christmas gift from my mother-in-law. Don't get me wrong, I love Amazon, and I know that having money doesn't mean anything because I have money. I mean, but I live in a dump of an apartment. But that's because I spend my money doing things, buying things I shouldn't be buying, like designer shoes. We all know we all have our own guilty little pleasures, and mine is designer shoes, like Christian Louboutin, Jimmy Choo. Oh, I just love me my shoes. Yeah, it's like my just gonna get cut out. So now that I have the gold applied, I'm gonna take, oh, I could have used the fluffy. I'm gonna take this fluffy packer. I'm gonna dip it in the same shade from earlier. I'm not gonna knock off the excess because I'm gonna use that excess to buff the color and make sure it's more unified. Just dip into the palette a bit one more time, just to make sure I have a solid color payoff. And I'm working in circular motions, as Nikki Tutorials would say. Speaking of which, let's talk for a second. Okay, so I reached out to Tati, and you think she would have the decency to message people back? Like, honestly, yes, I get that she's just coming off a hiatus. Yes, I understand the whole drama and everything that's going on, but that doesn't give you the right to just ignore people when they're reaching out to you. Like, seriously, Tati. So we have our base done, and she's perfected. I mean, I could always go back in and pack more pigment in, which I will do at the end. So let's close up the Beauty Killer palette and just set it aside for now. Now we're gonna go in with the Jeffree Star Shane Dawson Conspiracy palette. We're gonna open it up, and we're gonna remove the inner card, and we're gonna look at the colors in this beautiful palette. Like, oh my gosh. So we're gonna go in with my rides here. This gorgeous black right here. And we're gonna use a fluffy angled brush. And we're gonna use this on the outer crease and blend inwards towards the inner crease. I mean the inner part of the lid. So this look is not that complicated, because back then I didn't really know about adding layers and cutting my crease, because this was me new to the world of makeup, and honestly, I really didn't care much either. That's okay, we can fix that. But that's okay, we can always fix that. But yeah, this was back when I was still discovering myself. You know, I always thought that I was just one of those super femme gays that just loved being dressing like a girl and, you know, being very, you know, out of the box. But then as time went on, I realized that's not who I am. I'm more, I was more complex. So for some reason, and I don't know why, but I always thought that, you know, I was a drag queen. Because like, I always loved dressing up in heels and wearing dresses. But when it came time to start dating and find somebody that I loved and who would accept me for me, people automatically assumed I was a woman, and that was really hard for me. Like, yes, okay, I had a girlish figure, and yes, I carried myself way too feminine. But at the same time, my voice is very feminine, and that's not my fault. But I guess when hitting on people, I should have tried to deepen my voice a little bit while in drag, or I don't know, gone clubbing a few times in my normal look. I mean, let's face it. Back in those days, it was harder for people to accept you unless you were labeled or if they knew you were a queen. Like, I remember asking this one guy out, and he totally said no because I was. He said, "I'm sorry, I'm not into women." Yeah, I'm not a woman, buddy. Is what I actually replied. So that really hurt my chances. Later on, I thought I was a queen. You know, in my 20s, in my late teens to early 20s, I thought I was a queen. Then I just thought I was gender fluid. Turns out, I'm non-binary. I mean, yes, I am a bisexual, non-binary male. Okay, and I'm loving myself, and I'm happy, and I'm in a nice, loving relationship. I have everything that I need to sustain me. But growing up, or back in the early 2000s, it wasn't that easy. You know, it just wasn't. Not at least not for me. We're gonna deepen this up a bit more. This blend. There we go, that looks better. So now what we're gonna do to finish this look is we're gonna completely darken the under eye, and then we're gonna apply some eyeliner. So for that, I'm going to use my pencil brush, dipping back in to my right is here. there's kick up in my pan and I don't like kick up, so I blow it away. And we're gonna connect. And we're gonna connect this. And just really got like darken her up. And if you have a little bit of, it's okay. I know this makeup look doesn't look good. I know it looks horrible. But believe it or not, this is actually how I wore my makeup back in the day. And I've got some powder on my powder brush here. We're just gonna use my powder brush and just use it to kind of fix the shape. Voila. It's a very messy, grungy, dirty look. Just like I said it was going to be in the beginning. Okay, so now I'm going to take my liquid liner. Back then I was into the gels, but I still am. But every once in a while, it's good to have a nice liquid liner. I mean, it was hard for me to find a liquid liner back then that I really liked. So I'm using the One Size by Patrick Starr in the shade Bodacious Black. I think it's the only shade he has in his liquid, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, and we're gonna do a very dramatic wing. So I'm just gonna lightly line oh my god, this is not looking good. Well, it's very grungy, that's for sure. Come on. I was never good at doing my wings, but as you can see, it's very dramatic and borderline Egyptian, which, let's face it, I used to do my makeup like that all the time growing up. Yes. So now we're going to be taking my Annabelle gel eyeliner in the color Black Onyx. And we're going to use her in my waterline. Ooh, she is skinny. Okay, so we're just going to pull down the waterline. Annabelle was an eyeliner I used to use back in the day. She's cheap and affordable. She works really well. I do like her. So as a company, so whenever I need a good eyeliner on the go, when I run out and I need to go to the drugstore, I'll always pick up an Annabelle because Annabelle is my go-to. So that's that for my makeup on my left side for back in the day. I mean, I will put on some mascara and some lipstick, but unfortunately that does not come until the other eye is done. So let's move on to today's look. So now we're in 2021. So this is the difference between then and now and how I used to wear my makeup. So we're going to be using the Blue Blood palette, which is also in the same unboxing as this palette. It's Conspiracy. So for this, we're going to be doing a more glamorized look with a more neutral tone. So I'm going to be using from this palette the shade Celebrity Skin, and we're gonna pop that all over my crease, my lid, as my transition shade, and then we're gonna go into a nice blue look. So before we do that, as always, we need to prime our eyes. So I'm gonna grab my primer and my brush, which is an e.l.f. Cosmetics eyeshadow brush. I've had this brush for years. She never fails me. So today we're gonna use her to prime. So I'm just gonna I usually like to bring my makeup to my eyebrow, but today I want more of a subtle but sultry, very sexy kind of look. So today we're not gonna bring it up so high. Instead, we're gonna place highlighter there. And I never used to wear highlighter when I was doing my makeup back then. Highlighter is something I discovered recently when my makeup evolved. YouTube actually helped me with my makeup evolution, because without YouTube I would have never known that primer is a must for laying down any good base or foundation. So I really have to thank Nikki Tutorials and Jeffree Star and Tati Westbrook, even though she doesn't like to respond to people when they message her. So this is no shade to Tati, but Tati, if you're listening, or if you're watching, or if your fans are telling you there's some bitch coming after you, hi, not coming after you. I'm just telling the tea, and I love you. Just, you need to respond to your fans. There's a reason why we message you. So now I'm just dipping into some. Okay, so now we'll be taking Undertaker, which is this shade right here, and I'm applying it on the outer corner of my eye. Get the hair out of the way. I'm just gonna stamp it on, build it up, in that corner before we start to blend it in to the transition shade. So now we're starting to do the blend. So I'm back. I popped on a lash. I didn't realize that my camera didn't record me doing this look, but it's phenomenal. I love it. So that's left to do is to pop on a lipstick, and we're pretty much done. So I'm going to be using the Bite Lip Crayon in the color Glass. And there you have it. 2021 versus 2000s. Oh, can't forget the setting spray. And of course, gotta use my Patrick Ta setting fan with my Morphe Continuous Mist setting spray. I love them. I have the mini in the holiday collection, and I also have the regular in the holiday collection. All right, thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe and like, comment down below. Bye. Also, leave a comment down below and tell me how you would do this this side differently. I would love your opinions.